Right, welcome back guys. This is episode 3 of our adventures with Fanny as we continue on with the renovation of the camper van. So that's us into 21 days ownership now. I'll talk you through what we've done this week. It's been a far more productive week than the previous week, or certainly feels that way for me. First things first, we have got the wheels fitted, so I have released a video short on that already. But for anyone who's interested, they are Rogue Alloy Company CC1 satin black wheels in size 16-inch with BF Goodrich AT tyres on them. I went for 5 alloys so that we've got a full-size spare if needed. Obviously that won't fit well under the van, or I'm assuming it won't fit under the van. It's a good excuse not to put it there anyway. So I've gone ahead and ordered a rear wheel carrier, so that's mounted on the back door now. So that was from a company called Williams. Quite an expensive piece of kit for what it is, really. You know, it's just three sections of steelwork, which would be a fairly easy job to put together. But I guess they've got a number of different vans that they're supposed to cater for there. So they will have different products for different vehicles, but you're 350 quid at the time of recording for that particular rear wheel carrier, but it comes unprepared, so you have to either paint it or get it powder coated yourself. So it's another 150 quid to get that powder coated, which I don't grudge because the guys at SKS in Elgin did a cracking job. Really quick turnaround and an excellent finish on the wheel carrier. So I don't grudge the fact that I had to pay that for the powder coating. Just a little bit pissed off that the whole system doesn't come fully prepped and ready to go into the van, to be honest. Another couple of issues with Williams, or Wheel-I-Ams, however you want to say it, with regards to their service, or more about their product really. They sell, or they market their rear wheel carriers for particular vehicles. Didn't know this at the time, but it is only particular vehicles that require no modifications to the hinges. So the system bolts onto the hinges of the van and takes the weight there rather than putting the weight through the door, which in itself sounds great. But my vehicle, the Peugeot Boxer, so the Fiat Ducato and the Citroen Relay will be the same, is not covered by the same modifying free issues with the hinges. So you do have to drill the hinges, which kind of annoyed me as well. Wasn't expecting to do that after seeing their product on other vans that said there was no modifications required. Anyway, I've got 4 new hinges, luckily, so they got painted. I think I covered that in my last video, so they're painted and fitted to the van now. I had to drill holes in them straight away to mount this rear wheel carrier. Did that, got everything aligned where it should be externally. And the third set of attachment points, so you've got one in your upper hinge, one on the lower hinge, and then you've got one that attaches to the door. That has to be drilled through the door skin as well, which I did. But the position that it lies in, no matter how you set up the system, the position that it lies in is very close to the edge of the door. So when you come to attach the points from inside the van to attach the bolts there, it's just a really stupid system. But essentially when you're drilling in there, it's very close to the edge of the door, and couldn't get a clean drill hole from one skin through towards the second skin. There's a third bit of metal that was kind of protruding from the side of the door there. So it's fitted. I'm not entirely happy about it. It's not as bespoke and specialist as the company would like to promote. I've left some feedback with them on that, and I was told that they're constantly improving their products. So that's as far as it's going to go with that. What can you do? You can leave the feedback and that's it. So I'm making sure that anyone else who's planning modifying a van and considering a purchase from Williams is aware that it's not just a straightforward bolt it on and away you go job. Anyway, gripe over for the day, well, for the moment anyway. So yeah, wheels are on, hinges fitted, wheel carrier fitted. You'll be aware that in my last video I had issues with one of the windows that was delivered to me from Leisure Vehicle Windows. Not Paul's fault by any means. They had a bad warehouse fire fairly recently, so they're sending stuff out direct from their suppliers. So essentially it gets drop shipped to the house. And the first window that I got, well, I got two windows at once. One of them was fine, the second one was in a million pieces. So Paul sorted me out with a replacement for that very quickly. No issues with that. Really good service as well from Paul. So chuffed with that. So the window arrived. Pretty crappy weather for a couple of days here, on the threat of rain anyway, which I didn't really want to go ahead and cut the holes in the van with that threat of rain coming. That and the fact that I was also shitting myself about cutting through the metal skin of the van. That's a pretty major undertaking, and there's no going back at that point. So I've cut on to some video of that just now, of the whole process. Right, as per my life's mantra, fuck it. It's the worst that can happen. Right. What the fuck we're doing next? Well, I guess this is it. No going back now. I've taken off the centre brace, so now it's for the first hole through the actual skin of the van. So now we are no longer going to be waterproof. Not scared at all, honest. Okay, so you can see a few holes there around the corner. I'm going to repeat the process for the other corners. I'll do a couple on the straights, so that then when I go outside and mask it up, it's all in order. So I'll just continue as I was. I'll pick you up later. So this is what we're looking at now. You can see the holes that we've pre-drilled here, all been masked around. Just done an extra bit there for the jigsaw running over the top. And then we'll get to work cutting this out. Right, first time using this jigsaw, brand new machine for the job. So just gonna see how we get on with it. I'm gonna cut a smaller hole first. You can see I've cut a step hole there. I'm gonna cut a smaller aperture, and then I'll go around the full distance after that. Okay, outside, inside. Fuck. Right, I guess we'll move to the outside, eh? Shit gets serious. Well, it's already serious, but now we've got to be precise. You fell over. Battery run done. And we're not even halfway through a window. Right, so one window cut. See the tape's still on just now. I've not deburred it yet, but it's gone through and we have a hole in the van. So that's good. Pretty chuffed with that actually. Snapped a couple of blades, but that's through not understanding what I'm doing really. Panel was vibrating as I was cutting it, so that just caused the blade to bind up. I'm only doing this myself, I don't have anyone else here, so ended up just taping the bits that had been cut and were loose and were basically vibrating there. So just taped them up against the van as I went round, and that seemed to do the job. So otherwise, now I'm just kind of hoping that the weather holds. It's not great, but it should be good enough for this. So I'll get this deburred, painted, and then we'll start the whole priming process and getting the window in. And you can see the masking tape there just holding it in position while the adhesive takes hold. It's got a no drive estimate of 2 hours, so I should be able to take it out this evening, or at least give it a spray with water just to make sure that it's not leaking, touch wood. It was an absolute bitch though, and nobody prepares you for that, when you're putting on the adhesive onto the window itself. So you do the primer prep first of all. That wasn't so bad. That goes on the window of the van, or the carcass of the van, and also onto the window itself. And then once that goes off, you put the bonding adhesive on the circumference of the window and then lift the window into position. The arm pump that I got off of that silicone gun, jeez man, I didn't think I was going to get it finished. It was like really, really painful. So much so that 120 quid for a battery powered gun almost makes sense for doing the next window. Apparently there are some other tricks that you could try. Heating up the adhesive, increasing the size of the bead, but there's already a pretty big bead that was on there, and it didn't feel like we're particularly cold at the moment. So I don't really know what else I can try for the next one, but I'm stopping for today anyway. I've got one window in. We'll have a look at the other side the next time we've got some decent weather. It's threatening to rain at the moment. It's certainly scheduled for rain tomorrow, so the window on the other side won't be getting done for a couple of days at least. That gives me time to recover and then see what I can buy in the meantime to try and make that job a little bit easier. But otherwise, I'm pretty chuffed with it. It looks decent. Totally changes the look of the van again. So hopefully once that blue tape comes off, we'll get a good looking van. Still in two minds what to do about roof rack. What do you guys think? Do you think I should put a roof rack on just now and then mount my solar panel on the roof rack, or do you think I should save my money for other things in the build, but then that means putting the solar panel directly onto the van roof and drilling more holes up there that I could avoid if I went down the roof rack route? Personally, I think a roof rack would look pretty cool on it. It adds to the kind of overlander look that it's got at the moment. But I just don't know if I can justify the cost at this point in time. We'll have a think about it anyway. You can let me know what you think in the comments, whether I should get a roof rack or not. In the meantime, I am going to massage my forearms because they're absolutely killing me, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, so now that we've got the video out of the way there, showing you the installation process and how everything went smoothly, the cuts were done, far less complex than I actually thought in that sense. The most difficult part of the entire window installation was applying the adhesive to the window. I had no idea it was going to be quite as viscous as it was, so it's really, really difficult to get out of the canister. So I had a caulking gun, but it was a very basic, cheap caulking gun. And it just left me with a ridiculous arm pump. not even halfway around putting a bead onto the window. Really struggled to get any adhesive out of the canister the whole way around. So that kind of frustrated me, and I knew that I was going to end up with issues in all honesty from that point, because the adhesive was starting to skin over before I managed to get all the way around the window. So I had my suspicions that it wasn't going to seal very well. Still, the installation went okay. You saw it in the video there that it's all taped up, and thought everything was fine. Come out the next morning during a rain shower that we had, and I thought, all right, let's do the big reveal, take it through together. So walked into the van with the video running, and saw that it was leaking from 2 or possibly even 3 different sections along the upper edge of the window. So that left me pretty frustrated, to say the least, but that's kind of what I'm here for, you know. I'm going to come across some issues along the way with the build. Not everything's going to run smoothly, and this is one of those things where I just thought, well, if it was going to happen, then at least it's happened just now, while I've got no interior in the van to strip out. There's no carpet in there, no insulation to get through, anything like that. So if it was going to happen, now's the time for it to happen. It did leave me with a bit of a quandary, though, about whether to remove the window fully or try and bodge it up with just sticking some additional Sikaflex along the top line or something. Probably could have made it quite neat by doing it that way, but that's kind of half-arsing it in my opinion. So I've decided that I'm going to cut the window back out. I've ordered a cheese wire set up, so I will get that underway in the next couple of days. But again, the threat of rain at the moment is kind of postponing that job for me as I sit here. So yeah, that'll be cheese wire. Not entirely sure how I'm going to do it yet. I've looked at a couple of videos, but you can do it fully from the outside. It's like 2 handles with a bit of wire in between. You just saw it back and forth. I could either do that from outside the vehicle completely, or I can have 1 handle outside, 1 handle inside the vehicle. So I'll have to just kind of assess that when I get out to do the job, see how we're going to go with that. But I wouldn't say I'm confident with it, but it's a job that I'm prepared to undertake myself, rather than putting it straight into the professionals to get them to do it. Probably an easy job for them, you know, a couple of £100, and they would take care of it. But the whole purpose of the project here is that it's built, not bought, and if I can fix it myself, I will fix it myself. So that's the plan there anyway. The only other thing that really comes out of this week is that when we got the van, there's no rear view mirror, but I kind of wanted to have something so that it could help with reversing. It does have reversing sensors, but I'd like to have some additional visibility there. So I looked into different offerings on the market for reversing cameras, that sort of thing, and as often happens, get bombarded in social media by particular adverts. So there was a company called Wolfbox that have been popping up all over my feed. I had a look at their setup, and essentially it's a 12-inch display on a rear view mirror. Mounted to the front of the mirror is a forward-facing dash cam. So through the back of the van, I'm going to have a reversing camera mounted up at the top of the back doors at the rear light, and that'll have the reversing guidelines on it as well. It senses when you switch into reverse, and it'll switch the camera for you. And there's a third camera which is marketed for the camera as being like a front bumper mounted one for off-road use or whatever. But I'm going to use that as a secondary rear view camera that'll be lower down, so down around my number plate. It wasn't cheap, but the good things in life rarely are, so I've kind of factored it into the budget a little bit, sort of, ish. But yeah, it's something that needed done anyway, so it's a handy one to have. If I was going to do it, now's the time to do it again when the van is empty, so that I could run the cables a lot easier from front to back of the van. So that's all been done. I've just got to drill a couple of holes at the back to mount the rear cameras, and I'll include a little bit of footage of that in next week's video. So that's pretty much us for the week. I really do appreciate everyone watching the videos, liking them, sharing them, subscribing, doing whatever you can to interact with the videos in YouTube, TikTok, on Instagram, and I post them up on Facebook as well. So there's a few different areas that you can see the shorts, but the main episodes here are on YouTube once a week. That's the extended videos, if you like. So they're here, and like I say, I appreciate you watching, and keep on interacting with me. Please let me know if you've got any comments or questions about what I'm doing. One more thing before I go, actually, I had it to hand here. I was just having a read through this. I'm not sure if it'll fit in the frame very well, but this is the book that I've been using for a lot of the information for my conversion. So the Van Conversion Bible, again, it came up on social media feeds at one point when I was considering going for a self-conversion. So I got this for Father's Day and had a good read through it. I mentioned about my electrical system that I've ordered. That's all come through Noma, who are a big part of the Van Conversion Bible as well. So that's noma.com, NOHMA.com. So check them out. They've got a lot of how-to stuff on there, and the book itself's a cracking read as well, very well laid out. So that's us. I'll catch you next time.